Hello, thank you for tuning in to this week's reading. While these readings are valid for whenever you come to them, I did want you to show you the tarot cards I'm going to be using for this one. This one's the Awakened Tarot. There's a website on the back. It doesn't really give the creator, and the book is stuck. So I will give you the website though, myryve.com. Feel free to check that out if you're interested. For the Oracle cards, supportive Oracle cards, I will be using You Are Clairvoyant Oracle cards by Belinda Grace, illustrations by Elaine Marzin. The website on this one, rockpoolpublishing.com.au. A is an apple, U is an umbrella. And in case you're interested, the dice I use are just regular game dice. In case you're interested, I got them on Amazon. Not that I show the dice very often, but sometimes people ask me where the dice are from. They're metal dice from online. And that's what they look like. Alright. And now on to your reading. Hello, Leo! Thank you for tuning in to this week's read for, I already did that. What do we have for Leo? I like the start of this. Let's see how it goes. Why do I like that for you? You got the Eight of Swords coming up, but for some reason I kind of like it for you. Ooh, that's why I like it for you. Okay. Okay. This is going to be a saucy read. I can already tell. This is going to be saucy. It's going to be saucy. There's changes happening. I don't think of Leo as being afraid of changes. I personally don't. Leo seems to roll with that, kind of like not only enjoys them, confronts them, usually starts them, starts changes, makes them happen. Whatever this situation is that you're currently dealing with, it's going to be rooted in a lot of stress. And when it comes to the stress, this reminds me of like a workplace where people aren't really happy. Or maybe home life isn't the best. Something like that, where people, they work together, they deal with each other, but there's a lot of conflict. There could be a lot of toxic behaviors going back and forth. This is something that you try to navigate the best you can. But you must also, a lot of people don't really tell you things. Because if you see a mess, you clean it up. And they don't seem to like that. Which is odd, because the point of that is like, if there's a mess, you're just going to clean it up. If they don't want you to clean it up, they need to clean it up themselves. But that's not what's really happening here. They're not telling you things, and they're not doing anything about it. So that's its own thing. That's about to come to an abrupt end. Because I'm getting, the truth is coming forward to you. You're finding out where there's some things that aren't right. There's messes. And you're like, not in my house. Not in my house, we're not doing that. This may have been going on for a while, but now that I know, we're done with it. That's enough. And you're putting an end to it pretty quickly. Messages come right, like when I get messages, like you're getting the information. I feel like you're getting the intel. That's been going on. I didn't know that, but we're done with that. And you just handle it the way you need to. And you just handle it like you're gonna. You just do what you're gonna do. You clean it up. But then there's an afterthought or an after feeling of like, this is what I know about now. What other BS is kind of hiding out there? And it's kind of like, do I really have the time to be a super sleuth and check all this stuff? Or is there a different way to handle this? Can I even find it all? There's so much. Like, what are these people doing? There's so many things that I'm doing. I don't really have the time to step back and, like, monitor other people's life. I don't want to be the policeman for this situation. I don't want to do that. So there's that afterthought energy. The thing is, whoever you're dealing with, you do have a lot of people, maybe not everybody, but a lot of them you do like, is what I'm getting. And you're trying to look out for people, but you might even be reiterating to other people, kind of like, if you don't tell me what's going on, how are things going to change? And also, if you don't fix it yourself, like, you don't have to tell me, but at least fix it yourself. Why are you putting up with this stuff? Leo's usually very much on the forefront. You have something to say, you're going to say it. There may have been a couple, or if there may be a couple, if there haven't been, conversations where you're like, listen, why are you putting up with this? Why are you telling me about this after the fact? Why aren't you just handling it? You might be calling people out on their BS. At the same time, you might be wondering if it even matters, because you're like, I know how they are, but I'm still going to tell them because I don't like this. There are people here you like, though, is what I keep getting. Changes are happening in pieces here. First of all, you're finding out something, not putting up with that, or cleaning that mess up. Not in my house, we're not doing it. Another level of change comes in. You got the journey card with the, or does it say life journey? Life journey with the Four of Pentacles. This is somebody in the environment is what I'm getting. Somebody is leaving the situation. They're doing what they have to do. This is something that maybe at one point you did have more control over the situation, but it's developing to a level where you don't anymore. And when they feel they can walk away, they're going to walk away. This is somebody who doesn't really connect with you anyway. Even if it's a family situation, it could be somebody who lives with you. They tend to ignore you or not deal with you any more than they have to. This is somebody who's going to leave the situation. They're just giving you a heads up on that. The advice is to not fight that and not to try to make that work out. Because you're going to have the need to step forward and call it out for what it is and kind of like, what have you been doing this whole time? Why did you just kind of walk away? You're going to want to call it out and figure out the problem. The advice is to not to do that, ironically. The advice is to let this stay a mystery and let this person do what they need to do. Mostly because I feel like whatever they're choosing, they're blocking you from a lot of things, and there's something that they have to figure out on their own. Whoever this is, they have to figure it out on their own. And they're still not telling you things. Even if you hold their feet to the fire, they'll tell you something that they think is going to make you happy. They won't tell you what the actual problem is. They just won't. The advice here is to let it stay a mystery. That's what they want to do, then let them do that. Step back, shock them by not doing anything. That will have a profound impact. This person is making a decision. I don't know what they're doing. How does this person... They're not... There's something here that they've never shared with you. You have no idea what they're doing. But they're doing something for them. They're doing something they need to do. There's a whole change going on that you have no input on, you have no connection with. They have to go through and learn whatever lesson they need to do before they can come back towards you. Because I don't think this person is out of your life permanently. I feel like they're holding things back, especially because I'm choking on my own words. I mean, I was going to kind of guess at what it was, but I'm feeling like that's wrong. Don't do that, so we're not going to do that. They have to figure out whatever they're figuring out, and they have to figure it out on their terms. So they're putting some distance between you and them, because they have to figure things out. They have to sort out their own life. They have to have control. They have to have the... it's not just the dignity, it's something else. They have to have that strong standing, that self-respect, that self-loyalty to know that they are where they want to be in life, and they are who they want to be in life. That's what's happening here. This person is going through some type of metamorphosis that they've been holding back. You're probably not the only person they've been holding it back from, but they have to come to terms with that on their own and become who they really want to be. This whole change is going to happen away from you, and you're not even going to see it till after it's done. Once the change is over, I'm not saying it's going to be easy for you to deal with, but I'm getting you might want to find other people who can relate to how you feel, and relate to people who have accepted this change and moved forward with it. Because I get it could be quite scary for you when you see the change they've made. I want to make analogies, but I feel like they keep getting I shouldn't. Whatever it is, to you, it's one of those things where you're I don't know why they chose that. And it might just throw you right off. Right off. You might have to find a support group to help you deal with whatever it is. You might have to just go to a therapist and see what they think about it, so they can give you another way to look at it, just so you can have peace of mind. Because once the change is done, the change is done, is what I'm also getting. They're going to move in the direction they want to. This person will come back into your life later, and then I feel like you're going to have to do some work to figure out how you're going to handle it and find a way to accept the change that's been made. I feel like this is just a heads up about where this is going. And also, like, advice to not try to figure out what's going on, because again, I'm getting you're not going to get the answer. You're not going to get the answer. They'll tell you what they think you want to hear. They're not going to tell you what they actually are hiding. If you let it stay a mystery, ironically, this goes a lot smoother. This goes a lot easier. It's also going to shock them, and later they're going to come back to you and they're going to ask you why you didn't try to force them to tell you. That's also going to happen later. And that might actually be more of a bonding moment that you actually want, versus them coming back and saying, you tried to force me to do things I didn't want to and I wasn't going to tell you. And instead of it being a conflict later on down the road, it might actually be a bonding thing if you hold back. You might be surprised. Is that it? Alright, I'm going to shut this down here. I hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email. jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, it's below. Same email. Thank you very much for watching, and have a great day.